Hello and welcome to my preview from the 6th week of the English Premier League season. Another 10 cracking games for you guys to watch. So let's get straight into things with a London derby to kick off the first game here, and it's Spurs versus Chelsea at White Hart Lane. As I just said, it's a London derby, tensions will be high. It's AVB against his former club. Jose's back again, and I think that both teams will really show to each other that they're title contenders. Both have got really strong squads, and I think it'll show. However, both teams will be very even, and the result I'm predicting will be Spurs 1, Chelsea 1. I think they'll just cancel each other out, and really there won't be a team that shows its dominance just yet. I think it's too early in the season for one team to go full throttle at this very moment. The second game is from Villa Park, featuring Aston Villa versus Manchester City. Aston Villa, a great win last week away from home. Same can be said for Manchester City in the Manchester derby, and I think that City will carry on this form into this game, and for that reason only, I predict Manchester City will win 2-0. The reason I'm saying Aston Villa won't score is they don't have Benteke, I don't think, and at home I think they'll just struggle against really, at this point, rampant Manchester City squad. At Craven Cottage, it'll be Fulham taking on Cardiff. Cardiff are a great defensive team. I think they actually play better when they're away from home, because Melky Mackay actually sets them up for more counter-attacking stylistically. And I think Fulham, again, they're not the biggest and best squad going around. I think they rely too heavily on specific players, and for that reason, I'm going to say that it will finish a 0-0 draw. Cardiff won't really want to attack. Not saying that they can't, but they'll really just be looking to catch Fulham on the counter-attack. Fulham, I'm assuming, will have a fair bit of the play, but again, probably won't be able to break down Cardiff's really structured and solid defence. Hull City will take on West Ham next, and I think Hull City, after getting such a great win at Newcastle last week, again, can carry that form in. I think Steve Bruce will tell these players, look, remember how it feels like to win. If you can string a couple of wins together, we're looking really good to not get relegated. And for this fact, I'm going to say that Hull City, I predict, will win 2-1. West Ham look a shadow of the team that they did a couple of seasons ago, and I think they're missing our key players. I don't think players like Nolan and Diame have really hit their stride just yet, and Carroll's obviously injured as well. Hull City are in a good run of form here, and I think at home, with the Hull City fans behind them, they can get the win. At Old Trafford, Manchester United are going to take on West Albion Bromwich, and basically I just saw the Capital One Cup tie between Liverpool and Man U, and Man U won that, and are going to progress through. And after seeing that, I think David Moyes has really carefully looked at his squad and seen the flaws and the mistakes that he made in the Manchester derby, and he's going a long way to rectify that. And I think at home, the next game, really, against not so strong West Albion Bromwich team, Manchester United can really turn the heat up, and I'm predicting quite a demolishing scoreline. I'm predicting Manchester United will win 4-0. Expect players like Van Persie and Rooney, who's in a good bit of form recently, to hit the score sheet and propel Manchester United to get the 3 points. Southampton versus Crystal Palace will be next. Both teams are doing fairly well. Southampton are actually flying at the moment. Crystal Palace not so much. I think this is the first game that Ian Holloway can be back on the sidelines, but I don't think it'll be enough. Southampton, showed last week against Liverpool that they can match it with the best, and they've got a good squad to do so. And I think that they'll win 1-0, and the goal scorer will be Daniel Osvaldo to score his first goal. He's been a bit unlucky in recent times, and that's due to the other team's good goalkeeping. But I think against Palace, he can be the difference maker, and he will score the winning goal. We'll go to Wales next, where Swansea are going to take on Arsenal. Arsenal just got through on penalties in the Capital One Cup tie. but they were playing basically an under-21 squad. All their first-team regulars were rested. So I think, really, once Arsenal go and fly up to Wales, that they can go there and get a nice away win. I think they'll just scrape through and get one and just win 1-0. I'm assuming the goal scorer will either be Laurent Koscielny or Jack Wilshere, and we'll just hold on. It'll be another good defensive performance by Arsenal, another clean sheet. But don't discount Swansea. They're a good passing team, and they have managed in the recent fixtures to get on top of Arsenal. So I'm predicting 1-0 scoreline to Arsenal, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were more goals in it, as both teams are really identical in the way they like to play, possess the ball. So this could be an interesting game. Watch out for that one. The third last game will take place at the Britannia, where Mark Hughes' Stoke City will take on Norwich City. Now, look, Stoke City, they lost last week, but for me, they showed a fair bit of fighting qualities that they'll need to not only stay up, but probably, if they want to, be in the top half of the Premier League table. Stefan Nzonzi in the middle of the park, a complete animal, so dominant. He's strong, and he can pick out a pass right now, which Mark Hughes has developed that into his game. And really, I think Stoke City right now are a lot stronger than Norwich, and will win this game 2-0. Their strikers up front are quite lethal. You've got Crouch and Jones, and also you've got players like Walters and Etherington that can always cause a bit of trouble and can, manage to poach the odd goal here or there. Also got Charlie Adam. Against the Norwich side that I don't think really has found its form yet. Van Wolfswinkel hasn't had the greatest of starts. Neither has Gary Hooper, who I must admit that's a bit harsh because he's been on the bench recently, but I'd expect him to, show his quality. And so I don't think Norwich will win this game, but in the coming weeks, watch out for Norwich. The second last game will take place against where Sunderland will verse Liverpool. Sunderland fired Paolo Di Canio, and I think whoever's in charge, I'm not sure who's in charge, but the interim or the next manager at Sunderland will really have an instant impact. I don't think they'll get the win, but they will get a point against Liverpool. And I think to, start off this next campaign under whoever the new manager is, against basically, what could arguably be a top 4 side, to get 1 point against them is quite good, and they can really progress forward. Look, Sunderland are not a bad team. They've got really good players, They went out, bought 14 new players, and these 14 new players are no joke. You've got players like Jose Altidore. You've got players still there like Adam Johnson and Stephen Fletcher, and I'm not sure if they've kept Alfred Ndiaye, who last year was quite impressive. But they don't have a bad squad, and for that reason, I think that even though they've had a horrible start to this campaign, that if these players continue to begin to fire, and show the true worth and the true qualities that Sunderland have, they won't get relegated. And this game, mark my words, will be a 1-1 draw. The final game will take place at Goodison Park, where Everton will face Newcastle. Everton are the only undefeated team still left in the Premier League, and I think that they can keep it going. I think that they'll be able to beat Newcastle 2-1. Newcastle had just a horrible loss last week, and I don't think that Newcastle are nowhere near as strong as they would have hoped. Really, this Everton side is quite lethal. You've got attacking players such as Coleman, the fullbacks, Coleman and Baines. They're attacking fullbacks, but they also defend. You've got the creative forces of, Morales, Pienaar, Barkley. In midfield, Barry and Osman just sitting there and, picking out the passes. And obviously up front, you've got the beast himself, Romelu Lukaku, who will really put body on the line to find the back of the net. And for that reason, Everton will win this game 2-1 and will remain undefeated. So, that's it. Those are my predictions for this week. I hope I predicted that your team will win. If not, don't worry. My predictions are not always going to be right. I do hope whoever you support, that your team wins. And I'll see you guys very soon for my review of the games that will just be played. Thank you very much, and goodbye.